Good evening, everybody. Hi, Melanderos from the Cantina MX Podcast. It is Friday. We're on episode 248. We're going to recap Jornada 7. We actually have Jornada 8 happening as we speak. So before we go any further, let me introduce our two-man wolf pack. Joel, how we doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Jaime, right here, waiting the big Chivas Tigres match set for tomorrow. I'm a bit excited
Wait, did you
on that.
say Tigres?
Yeah, man. The mighty Tigers, who aren't looking so mighty this season.
You never know what kind of Tigres you're going to get. Are you going to get the little Tigres, or are you going to get the one that, steps up to the plate? You just don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, up until the match week started, I would have to check, or we could check in a bit, but Gignac was still the top scorer of the league. So, I mean, they're still banking on a player like that, which, you know,
Yeah,
makes
well,
them dangerous team.
I'll actually look that up as we speak. But before we go any further, we had Jornada 7. Um, I'll go over the scores really quickly. On the last podcast, we talked about the games on Friday with Super Camotes beating Toluca. Uh, Mazatlan and Tigres actually tied 1-1. Remember, I was like kind of that episode that show was going on as the game was going on, and I thought Gignac had
Yeah.
scored the game winner, but out of nowhere on the 97th minute they tied it up 1-1, which is a pretty good result for the newest team. Then America beat Atleti San Luis 2-1.
And for Valencia, because the rumors were that, his job was on the line.
Oh yeah.
And so if there was any validity to that, he might have just extended his stay at the Mazatlan for one more week.
um and we're gonna talk about some of the things that you touched on last week with coaching and the carousel. Because Atletico San Luis lost to America 2-1, and they lost again uh, yesterday 3-1 against Pachuca. And you mentioned Guillermo Vasquez was on the hot seat, and it sounds like he will not be continuing. It's not official yet, but it sounds like they're starting to sharpen the guillotine, and they're going to chop his head off pretty soon.
Oh man, and you know it kind of sucks that's when the short season is very unforgiving, and he's had a tough. He match week 5 he goes against Chivas on the road, and then he faces Cruz Azul at home, and then another home game, but this time against America, and then they go up against Pachuca, which has proven to be stronger than Chivas. So it hasn't been easy for them. All those games were teams stronger than them, and so it's a little bit, yeah, it's tough because I mean, if they were to hold on to him, they face Necaxa, who they're about level terms, and they face him at home. But I guess by this point they figured this isn't the guy.
Yeah, he just, I don't know, man. It's a tough. Liga MX is not forgiving at all. Um, I was gonna go over the rest of the scores. So America again beat San Luis 2-1. Chivas and Pachuca had arguably the most boring game out of Jornada 7. They tied 0-0. It was terrible. I'm not very convinced with Vucetic right now. He's
Oh,
the
come
problem
on.
I had with this game is the way the Chivas were playing. They were trying to build out of the back. They were, holding possession, but they weren't really doing anything with it. They weren't moving offensively. They were just kind of going
No.
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like going lateral and lateral and lateral. And I'm just like, this is terrible.
He did just arrive though. I mean,
Yeah.
gotta give this guy some time to. shake things up to how the team was used to already with Tena. And then we had those problems with the players being suspended, and he had to shuffle around the squad. So
Yep.
it hasn't been an easy start for King Midas. I still have faith in him, and it's all he has to do is get us to playoffs, and it's 12 teams. Chivas currently, Jaime, are out of the playoff running. They're in 13th, but we'll
Yeah,
get to
but
that.
we don't have a game. We're a game behind right now. So some of the results on the table,
Yeah, but
some of
that's a
the
bit of added pressure. You know,
yeah.
you're facing Tigres, and you know that you need to make points because you don't want to be left out. And they're about to reach. Well, Jornada 10 will be about the halfway line. Maybe Jornada 9, given that you don't you don't
Um,
count yourself.
who was the caretaker that took over the team after Tena got fired? We should get that guy back. He had a perfect record.
Oh, no, I keep hearing that.
Uh,
That's
it's a
Aleaño,
it's
who
a
was with
meme,
the
but
youth.
it's funny.
But yeah, he faced what, San Luis
And
and Juarez,
Juarez, yeah.
two of the weakest teams, or the weakest teams with all due respect. Uh, and it's like, yeah, it was I think Busa would have gotten those. Even Tena would have gotten those wins. I still think something's fishy with the whole Tena stuff, especially because he hasn't. Have you heard anything from Tena? Like we
Mm,
usually hear their
mm,
parting words, but I
I haven't heard anything.
nothing. Not even hey, thanks to the club. I want to thank him for this opportunity. Good luck. Nothing, man. He just disappeared.
um,
So I
yeah. It reminds me of like that scene in The Office where they brought in the like the founder, and he was in the conference room, and they were just like, all right, bye. And then he's like, hey, and they just like close the door on him, like, just get out of here. I kind of feel like that's what with Dena. It's one of those things that like we just want to move forward and not look back and not even give him the acknowledgement or the thanks or nothing. Just like
and yeah, and it's a messed up. It's a messed up way, and so who knows? I think we will probably hear from this somewhere down the line. It could be a couple years from now, but
yeah,
that's this is something I
maybe
thrive on. I like
I don't
I
I
like remembering these things.
we
Um,
probably won't even have to go that far because as we speak, Amazon is recording All or Nothing Chivas, so I'm
oh,
sure all that
unless
stuff
they
will
edit it out.
maybe it's just to add drama.
Yeah,
That
yeah, and well, speaking of Tena, Jaime, his brother was also unceremoniously sacked. Uh,
oh
but
wow.
from America, his brother was doing an awesome job. I haven't heard anything from the Americanistas. I would be pissed. I don't think they care. But he was behind their youth, and they've been producing a lot of good quality youth, and they booted him. They sort of like had him like take a back seat, so he left. But it was pretty much the writing was on the wall. So they brought they brought Villarreal's former youth coach.
Oh, okay.
But my saying is, if it's not, the saying, if it's not broke, why fix it?
Yeah.
I think America had been doing a really great job. They probably haven't had like the praise that Pachuca, even Chivas and Atlas at one point had. But if you go down the list of how many players they brought out and sent to Europe or ended up in the national team, it's a very good list. And I think their youth teams were doing good. But I know, let's see if this works out for them. As a Chiva, I hope they fail.
Yeah. Um, Going off the remaining matches of match day 7, Cruz Azul beat Necaxa 3-0. Pumas still the only team remaining undefeated,
Yep.
3-0 against Xolos. Santos beat Querétaro 2-1. Rayados beat
And
Juarez.
wait,
What?
let's back it up, Jaime. Back to Pumas. They're 7 games undefeated.
Yep.
Their record was 11 games.
Oh.
That was their record in short season, was 11 games. So they got 4 more games to go and they will be
Wow.
facing Puebla, which is the other surprise team of the tournament.
Super
But
Camotes.
yeah, and America, America's record is of 13 games, and the record holder is Chivas at 14.
Yes, sir.
14. But we're talking about short season.
Yeah.
You gotta go far back to the long season.
It's
I don't think sort of applies just given that it's short season now.
yeah.
But yeah, I actually remember that Chivas. They call him El Rey del Empate. Games were pretty boring, but they had a
Was
lot
that
of the young
under
guys.
was under Flores?
No, it was Ruggeri,
Oh.
and they had a couple of the young guys like Bravo and Medina, and I don't know Medina, but I know Omar Bravo was there. A couple of the younger guys that would end up, you know, being key players and being national team.
Yeah, I want to say the last time I remember Chivas having like it was like a win streak. It was like 10 games or something, right? And it was under Efrain
Wait,
Flores. Or maybe I'm tripping.
wait, 10-game win streak? I don't.
No?
Nah, man, I don't know what you're smoking.
Maybe it was
Pass
just
it
me in
over,
FIFA career mode, you know? Maybe that was just my
man.
maybe I mixed
Hey,
the
did you say
reality
that
with FIFA.
you had Messi in the team or CR7 uh, doing dupla with Puli? Uh,
uh
yeah, no, I don't think 10 is unheard of. It's interesting. The win streak. I don't know if it's like I'm gonna put it at like 5 games, but we should
nah.
look it up.
I'll look it up.
But you think there's been a team that's won more than 5 in a row?
Longest win streak? Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, I kind of remember then.
I'll look it up right now. It looks like
Where you were going down match week 7.
yeah, I was going down match week 7. Santos won as well. I think Leon. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, damn. Leon, you're right. 12 wins in a row.
Yeah.
2019. Poor Nacho, dude. We don't give him the credit he deserves. If this was Mati, we would have his statue
we
in
would have a
flaming gold.
statue. The
Nacho, man.
we would have ass tattoos of Mati.
Of Mati. Oh, yeah. Hey, that's impressive, man. 2019, 12. 12. I forgot about
Yeah,
this,
that's what
and
I'm
that's
saying.
not that long ago.
It wasn't even that long ago. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Nacho's one of those guys that they don't get,
The
the
credit, the
credit they
recognition.
deserve. We talk about, oh, they should go to Europe. This dude was like 8 years in Europe, with Aguirre at Osasuna and Atletico de Madrid. He even coached a few games, when Aguirre was suspended or sick. But he was at Chivas, he was at America, got no love at either of the big teams, and I'm glad he's doing good at Leon, and I hope he stays
Has
there
he
for the
won
long run and let him work.
any silverware though? Because I think that's probably why these coaches are so forgivable or forgettable because like they
Oh
don't.
no, he made it. They made the final, but they didn't win it.
Yeah.
Remember, they played without JJ.
He was a Conca Champions winner though.
There you go.
With what team was that, Leon? With
I
America.
don't know.
Oh, with America. So when he was coaching America, they won the Conca Champions League. He was the
And
coach.
you know what? Toluca, not too long ago, 9 wins in a row.
Yeah.
And this was in Clausura 2018. It's wow, man. They fallen pretty hard. They fallen pretty hard. That those Red Devils.
Yeah, they
But yeah,
actually.
those are in recent times. Chivas, man, for their Bicentenario 2010.
Yeah,
Uh,
10, right?
eight.
8
No, eight.
with Flores, right?
8.
Or was it with Who was it? Who was the coach?
It could have been him,
Yeah.
but goddamn, you were right. I was thinking the
Yeah.
five.
No, I remember there was like a crazy, crazy streak. I remember that.
Well,
Um,
yeah, no, Leon, man. Leon is 12. Wow.
Speaking about the Red Devils, today they lost to Querétaro 4-1.
I know. Two
Gallos,
defeats in
man.
a row.
Gallos.
That's,
I don't know what it is about this
yeah,
team, but when they win big. You know, they beat America 4-1, so it's like, but for some reason they're still in the middle of the table, you know, 8th, 9th position
that
right
was
now.
the meme, right? Where they showed him against America, and then they showed him against Atlas.
Yeah.
Wasn't the team the last two out with the pupper? No,
Yeah.
watch him go up against Juarez and lose. They go back to pupper status.
We just hope that they do that against Chivas on the 8th.
Toluca, though, man, I'm a bit disappointed. I'm expecting a bit more from our boy. I'm a big Chepo fan, just De La Torres general, because you're a Chiva fan. You need, in my opinion, you need to hold the De La Torres in high regard. They wouldn't be campeonissimo without them. They've thrown a lot of those titles up in there.
Mm-hmm.
But man, well, he does have them in playoff spot. I do think he'll take them to the playoffs. Something seems to be missing. I don't know what it is because following. I'm not following Toluca because they'll get a good result and then a bad one. But he needs to. He needs. We need to see where this goes. You know, he's like in the middle.
Yeah. America beat Mazatlan 3-1 on Wednesday. Pachuca beat Atlético San Luis 3-1 yesterday. And today, León beat Necaxa 2-0. And currently, as we speak right now, Tijuana has a 2-1 lead over Monterrey. And Juarez and Santos are tied 0-0. And shout out to Luis, who's in the comments saying that Charlie, and I'm assuming he means Charlie Rodriguez, just got nutmegged. So, shout out to our listeners right now that are chatting on YouTube. El Mundial de 2006, it was mostly Atlas. Rafael Márquez, Andrés Guardado, Pavel Pardo, Osvaldo Sánchez, Javier Borghetti, Méndez.
Yes.
Y de titular. It was the closest Mundial to the 5th match. That is a comment by Randy Torres, who is obviously a big Atlas fan.
Yeah, and then they were coached by wait, was that 26? Yeah, they were coached by La Volpe.
Mm-hmm.
So even more Atlistas. But yeah, that was out of left field.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's going on, Randy? We have to ask what happened with your juveniles, man. Your fuerzas básicas set the standard. They set a high bar, and then it's like they forgot what they were doing. Like, you have the blueprints, man. How did you forget? Like, you know, it has to be a series of things to happen where you drop, where you drop so far down that you're not even producing players no more. You go from being the bulk of the national team to it's like you don't have, and they'll still make a player here and there, like the guy that just went to Portugal.
Yeah.
But Atlas is nowhere near to that. And I remember that team, that young team, and it was with La Volpe too. And when they played in Libertadores, they had a really good game against River Plate. But that was that from around the time that Bielsa left and then La Volpe took over. That was a real fun
team to watch.
Yeah, and I'm a Chiva dude, and I would watch those Atlas games.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit guilty. I felt some guilt, a little bit, but it's like Galeano, man. I'm a sucker for good football.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eduardo Galeano would say, and I know a lot of people would watch just because how they played. That was one of the, and they had that big final against Toluca. They went to penalties.
Yes, 1999. Yep, and they celebrated the 20-year anniversary of second place last year. On their
Yeah,
Twitter,
I
they're
don't know.
like, it's been 20 years since we went to the final and we lost.
Okay, Jaime. Well, you guys needed to celebrate
Oh
something, man.
God.
But you know, and I'm thinking you have Grupo Orlegui, and they did such a great job with Santos, or are doing such a great job. And part of me, I do want, as a Chivas fans, I do want Atlas. I do want to come back to some of those big epic clásicos, man. There was some really
Yeah.
intense ones, and this is what the league needs: more clásicos, man.
Yeah.
And you look at Argentina league, every game's a clásico.
I know. There's like
There's
20
pretty much
teams in
every
Buenos
game.
Aires. It's like every game's a freaking clásico because it's all barrios. It's all like civil wars out
Yes.
there.
So no reason we can't have that. So get it together at last. Uh, you guys are facing Cruz Azul, man.
It's not easy.
Outcome not so good.
Not easy.
They're the yeah.
Yeah, they're probably gonna lose. I mean, they're barely standing above Los Muertos of Mazatlan, or sorry, Atleti San Luis. Atlético San Luis is in last place.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, they're. I mean, it's no surprise. The recently promoted sides. They're always going to be on the bottom. They're always going to be struggling. But I think they're probably grateful for the fact that there's not going to be any descenso for the next 2 years, so they can continue to suck eggs without any repercussions. But it is sad.
But Randy is saying they already have Rafa Marquez replacement in Alejandro Gomez.
We'll see.
I do hope so, man.
It's a loan, so it's if he's terrible, he'll just go back to Atlas.
No, I think there's another guy. I think
No, Alejandro Gomez
Yeah.
is the kid that we talked about last week. That he's going to Boavista in
okay.
Portugal.
Okay, that's the one.
Um,
Well, yeah, leaving early is a good sign as well.
it's funny that we actually kind of dipped our toes a little bit about investment and foreign investment, but there are some rumblings that Red Bull are analyzing the situation in Mexico, and they may be buying a club in Mexico. Red Bull has franchises. I know they have an MLS team. They have a team in Germany. They have a team in what's the other league that they have Red Bull, the original.
Austria?
Is it? Yeah, I think it's the Austrian league. Yeah. How cool would that be to have a Red Bull like Toros Nesa or something? That'd be sick.
I like Toros Nesa. That would actually be a good venue, man, because you're close to all these teams. You're pretty much in Mexico City. I wonder who they do get though, man. Because they could also go for like a historic,
Atlante maybe,
Yeah, and that would be straight right in Mex, because they did just return, right? They just came back from Acapulco, but it would be, man, Red Bull Atlante. Hey, if they want to invest, I'm all for it.
Oh wow, they have a club in Brazil as well. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
What is it?
Red.
They're all Red Bulls. Oh, they could
Wow.
have like a Red Bull Mundialito. What is it?
I don't know actually. I'll look it up right now. Because I don't know if it's Red Bull Brazil.
Wow.
But they're in the
It's like
second.
Chivas
They're in the
USA.
second tier. Okay, so that makes sense. They're not in
Talking about worst names like Chivas USA, they're like, hold my beer. Red Bull Brazil.
I mean,
They're like,
I think it'd be cool to have like a Red Bull team in Mexico. I think that would be nice, because I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Like the Liga MX is, as far as the league from top to bottom, They're a top 10 league. I'll put them in the number 10 spot out of all the leagues in the world. I mean, there's talent there. There's a big following. And I think Red Bull would be fun. It'd be a fun investment. It'd be fun to put some energy back into the league and some excitement for foreigners to be like, what's going on in Mexico?
Yeah, yeah. We have Luis saying that Orlegi invested in the Argentine team. Uh, Pachuca did the same. It hasn't worked out so well, I guess, for different reasons. But I know Pachuca had a team. I think it's Everton in Chile, and then they had another team in Buenos Aires. I can't remember their name,
I didn't know
but
that.
it's kind of tough there. Like the best you could do is bring those players to Mex. So it
Yeah,
would be like the talent gets developed over there, but it would be from that country, and then you bring it here to Mex. Uh, it'll really hard to send like Mex players over there and then bring them back. It just hasn't worked. I remember years ago, and we're going back to like mid '90s. Toluca had sent some players to Uruguay, and it's like we don't even know who they are. It's,
yeah,
it's just very competitive over there. Uh, just the way it's because that's their bread and butter, selling players. So for a club, you end up spending money. Like it's not that cheap. So if you send a player over there, you're kind of paying them to develop him for you. It's kind of something Chivas is doing. I don't know if they're still doing it with Leaño. They sent some players to Spain to like the third, fourth division
yeah,
teams.
yeah. They're
But you're
out
sort of
there.
like paying, like it's like you're paying so that they could be in the club and hopefully you get playing time because if you don't get playing time, then what's the point?
Yeah,
Might
you're
as
just
well
there
just
on
be there in
vacation.
vacation. So, but yeah, you kind of eventually because those teams they need to make money somehow. So in a way, if
Yeah,
you're paying them, it's like they're selling a player. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I hope it works for
it'd be cool.
for
But then
for Leggy, but
they'll probably realize the carousel and the politics that are involved in having a club in Mexico, and they'll probably pull out because of that. It's like, wait, who runs this shit? Like, what's going on in Mexico? There's
yeah,
too many chiefs, not enough Indians. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, let's see how that works, and I'm still trying to see how that Tochiwa thing works out with them sending some players to Spain's lower leagues.
Kind of in a
Let's see. I still think, look, man, we've already had success in Mex. I mean, they keep trying to reinvent the wheel. I don't think you have to. We saw it at Pumas. We saw it at Atlas. Just, dude, man, you bring out these young players. Just put them in the team, man.
yeah,
Just
for real.
that's it. Just give them playing time. And I remember we talked about it. Like, what was it? 3 shows, maybe 4 shows ago. We were talking about some of the goleadores right now
Mm-hmm.
in Liga MX, kind of unknown names, but we were going through their history and comparing them to some other Mex players of the same age, and the amount
Yeah,
of games they played
it's like
is just
embarrassing.
yeah, it is, man. And it's like yeah, no wonder they're doing
these
better because
these kids are getting
they're
their
at it.
their career started at the young age of 26 in Mexico. At the young age, at the
Yeah, but
promising age of 26, they're getting there. Like the second substitution that Chivas made against Pachuca, it was via Pando, and I'm like, oh, is he a young lad? No, he's not a young lad. He's like 26 or 27. He's old. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah, no, that's always been like if you want to develop youth, it's just you just have to play them. And with Max, I'm sounding like a broken record. Short season, that's just counter. That's counter to that because the coach needs quick results. You need to provide results within the first four or 5 games.
Yep.
That's if you think about it, that's pretty much a month. Especially if you had a doble jornada.
It's
You
like
got one
that's
month
like
to
2
do
weeks,
it.
bro.
so 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 yeah, they see Julanito who might have potential. It's like, nah, man.
Yeah.
I need to. Yeah, they're not. That's that's the thing that's been holding Mex back, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about like young Mex players just come to MLS, you get the playing time, but a lot of fans seem to hate that idea, and I'm like, I don't know why, because you could still do stuff. We saw it with Carlos Salcedo. He was at Chivas, then he bounced to Tigres. He kind of figured, all right, Tuca's not gonna play me. He goes to Real Salt Lake, and when he was there, he was already getting scouted by European teams, and Chivas went to get him, and they did the clausula where it's like, all right, if a European team comes, we're gonna make it easy for you to leave. And he did. He ended up leaving, and so he did that route, and that's like, as fans, we shouldn't really be that, negative towards the league here. If it provides playing opportunities, go for it, man. The more players playing, it's always the best.
Yeah. I mean, you're just opening a wider funnel. You know what I mean? And eventually you'll get something that comes out on the other end. Um, but kind of related to the Red Bull, this is also going on in the world of football with City Football Club. They just acquired another team. Troya is in League Two, so they have Manchester City, Girona in España. They have Lommel in Belgium. They have Troyes in France, New York City in MLS, Montevideo in Uruguay, Melbourne in Australia, Mumbai in India. They have Marinos in Japan, and then they have a team in China as well. I'm like, yo, City, while you're over here, while you got your wallet out, why not Mexico? you know?
Well, they are, yeah, and I guess they are now. And I think a big part of that with some of these teams is like, just in case there's a jam, they have first dibs.
Yeah. I mean,
Because, I mean, with
City
some of these
is,
teams, I don't think like Montevideo, I don't think they're spending that much money, man. you know,
it, yeah, and it's just very interesting the countries that they decided to expand in. You're talking about countries that really have not even been in World Cups, like India, China, Australia.
those will be in World Cups thanks to the whole, now there's like what 40 teams. So
Yeah,
we are going to be seeing like the Indias and the Chinas
like when's
more often at the
I
World
I
Cup
can't
now.
even name like a Indian player that I know like famously. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these countries, I'm just like, yeah, I can't even come up with one. So it makes sense for them to
Yeah.
invest in these crazy, like these countries that are like number one and number two in the world as far as population goes. It's like eventually you're gonna find something. Eventually you're gonna find a gem, and then when you find a gem in those countries, that entire country now it just became a city supporter. You know what I mean? Like if you're from an obscure country where football's not that popular, and then you end up playing for Manchester City, you got that entire country. Like you have their entire support. They're gonna buy jerseys and merchandise, and they're gonna be watching the games and stuff. It's like a really big deal.
Well, that, yeah, that's one of the reasons the whole FIFA went to the whole, you know, 40 team World Cup, because
Mm,
that's, China, they're in the billions, and same with India, that's a lot of Panini sticker books to sell. I mean, why would you want to buy it if your team wasn't there? But now your team is there, man. You know, some player you might like, don't matter, but it's now you have a more incentive to go and buy it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this is. We'll see how this World Cup turns out. I mean, some say that it might not even happen because the COVID situation. You just don't know what's going to happen. But we'll see what happens in Qatar. Um, but it is kind of nice that it's becoming like, I mean, it's already been the world's most popular sport, but I guess when you get these little countries that never had a chance, just to see them on the biggest platform, I'm sure it'll just introduce us to new players and maybe some upsets. Who knows? Um, while we're in Europe, so oh look, we asked Joel. Wolves actually Wolves announced their player of the year or player of the season award. Obviously, the a unanimous decision was Raul Jimenez. So it's nice to see him get credit for what he's done. Incredible season for Raul.
And no noise if he's where he's going to, huh?
Yeah, there's no rumblings, no rumors. Um, we'll see what happens with
They said
Raul.
Juventus. Now they're saying Luis Suarez might go to Juventus.
Oh wow.
So
It turns out that Messi is not going anywhere, so uh,
he's not coming to Tigres.
well, we do know for sure who's not going to be going to Tigres or who's not going to continue in Tigres, and that's Tuca Ferretti.
He did. You know what? He had said 2020 was he was retiring. Then I guess he had cold feet. But I think a lot of the fans are a bit tired of the Toucan, you know? Because I mean, especially with the type of squad they have, I think they expect more, and they're just, they never really been like dominant.
I think he just made them like relevant again. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they're consistent in that
Yeah.
they're always fighting for the campeonato, but the fans, they get to the point where it's like, they're gonna want more. So it's like, okay, we're already qualifying to leagues. We're already fighting for the title. We're already winning titles. But so then they want, they see some of the other teams and they want a bit more, bit of, sort of like the way Toluca was at one point with when Cardoso. And I guess they feel like, because man, they have had squads where they should have been more just handing out beatdowns.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at what he's able to accomplish, and he's done a really good job for Tigres. I mean, he's
Yeah, no
five
doubt.
five leagues, man. That's a lot, dude. In 10 years, he's won half. He's won at least a title every other year, man. That's pretty good. He's also lost a lot of leagues too. You know.
Yeah, yeah, he has. But I mean, he did put them on the map. I mean, they went from not like having like one or two titles now to now you know, um, but he might become a directivo. But I mean, let's see what happens with the Toucan.
We'll see what happens with him. I'm sure he's kind of fed up with it, and um, while we're still talking about Tigres, you were right as far as the top goal scorer as of right now after 7 games. Andre Pierre Gignac has 7 goals. Uh, so
Yeah,
he's been on fire. And then right behind him is Jonathan Javier Rodriguez from Cruz Azul with 6. And then Victor Alejandro Davila with 5. He's a Chileno from Pachuca.
yeah. So a Frenchman, a Uruguayan, and a Chileno.
And then it's
I think Henry Martin.
Argentina. You have to go down all the way to the 6th position to find a Mexican, and that's Henry Martinez, or Martin from America.
Yeah, four goals. So but wow, yeah, we're not. All of our delanteros are in MLS.
Who's over there? Pulido,
Chicharo, Vela,
Chicharito,
Pulido,
Vela. Um,
Cubo. They even took Cubo back.
where? Oh wait, where is Kubo? Oh yeah, that's right. He went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you have also Jurgen Damm. Okay, all right.
No, but he's not a delantero though, man. He's but the strikers though, man. Just strikers, straight Mexican strikers.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're hurting. We're hurting right there right now.
Yes.
There's hopes JJ Mack. Some
Phew.
people are saying that they're not using him
He's
right.
gone
I,
missing.
I think that yeah, he's probably he hit. We were talking about it, right, Jaime? He could have hit a patch. let's see what's going on. Busa already said something along the lines. He addressed the need for more goals. But
One
it's
goal in
interesting because they're
668 minutes.
well. That's the upcoming match.
He he's had
Chivas Tigres, man.
he's had more minutes than Gignac. Gignac has scored 7 goals in 629 minutes. It's scary, man. This is not good. You know, and this is tough because this is like the season, if you do well and if you come out champion with Chivas, then you got our blessing to go to Europe. But now, if you're not scoring goals, the offers are going to dry up and then you're kind of just trapped at Chivas.
Well, I don't think his offers would dry up. Maybe his price tag would fall, but I think he's proven already, and I think like the scouts, when they scout you, they know this like this guy's very professional, and they know all this stuff. So I think he could still leave even if he has a bad season. I still think he could go abroad, and I think he has that determination. So I still think he'll leave.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think you go to Leon and you're killing it, and then you go back to Chivas and it's like, yo, what happened to all that stuff that you did over there? It's not the same, man. It's
No, he was doing all right until the league was stopped. He had
mm,
what 4 goals in 8 games,
something
so
like
that's
that.
not bad.
Yeah, but he also
So
scored a
that's
lot of
not really bad.
penalties. But uh,
But I mean.
um, looks like Juarez and Santos have both drawn blood. They're 1-1 right now. Looks like. Yeah, it looks like that game's almost over. They're on the 86th minute.
So the Monterrey game ended though, right?
Tijuana beat Monterrey 2-1, man. Turco not looking good.
No, man. He did win the league for them. Then he had a disastrous season, and now it's just Monterrey's not. They're just not playing that well. Monterrey, both Monterrey teams, them and Tigres, they're just not. They're not looking too good.
Yeah, I mean, Rayados with this defeat will stay in a sixth position with 12 points. Tigres are in 10th position with 10. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, 2 point difference, man.
Yeah, I know, man.
But Tigres does have 1 game less.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, we'll see what's going on right there.
Yeah, it's an interesting jornada because so we have these games going on tomorrow, and then we're gonna have a doble jornada. So on Tuesday, everyone's gonna play again. So it's, I feel like this league is going by really, really fast. And we did mention,
And
well,
they did set up like that because
yeah,
of the whole other league being the previous season being suspended and the whole COVID,
uh-huh.
and so yeah, they're kind of fast tracking it, and I think they want to start letting people in.
Oh, really? I mean,
Yeah, they want to
realistically, do you
start.
think that could happen? I mean, that's
Yeah, I don't see why not. I just make them sit six
uh
feet apart.
uh I don't know, man. I mean,
Wear masks. Hey, do the thing. Check their temperature at the door.
there was something that I saw on Twitter the other day, and it was a little bit disturbing. It was LAFC. I think I forgot they played. I don't know who they played, but the fans were outside the stadium, and they had flares, and they had
Why was that disturbing, Jaime? Why are you hating that?
because it's like you're not supposed to.
They were
They're not supposed to do
they
that,
social distance. They were like 6 feet apart. I think. So
because
they're wearing masks.
what you're doing is you're basically saying, hey, we're this is why we're in the situation to begin with, is because people aren't respecting the rules, and then if they start doing it, they're gonna be like, haha, like, look, we have the best fans in the league. Look at all you other ultras. You guys aren't even doing that for. So then you're gonna start to see all these other MLS teams and all their other fans start to get together and do the same. And then all of a sudden it's like, cool, we just got all the progress we had, push it back like 3-6 months. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. I just think like everyone should be supporting their team virtually from home. like the America fan that had his wiener out on the television.
Oh man, and this an America fan.
It was Tu DN. You know, they have the virtual fans on the stadium.
Yeah, I remember.
And
that.
someone had their wiener out, and I'm like, oh,
but how
it's
were
probably
you able to know
Zage.
it was in America? He took up two screens.
Luis says MLS being super spreaders. Go figure. USA is to blame for the pandemic. I actually wish I still had contact with one of the ultras, Rick. He's like one of the original supporters of the 3252, and I want to ask him about that. Like, hey man, what's up with your fans?
Why they did that? Yeah.
I'm sure he probably wasn't behind
it.
It
was a one-time thing for them. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just awkward right now. You know, having empty stadiums. But I mean, that's just what we have to do, unfortunately, for a while. But yeah, this league, these doble jornadas, man, it's pretty intense. I mean, some teams just finished playing today and they're going to play again on Tuesday. I mean, that's not even a week break. You know, we have 12 spots. So I feel it's going to be a dogfight towards the end, man.
You think so? But
I
mean, look.
It's like this, man. It's like you have like a month to finish this essay, and everyone's like, you know, I can get that done. And then 2 days before the thing is due, you're like, oh shit, we gotta try now. And I feel like that's what you did with like opening the spot to 12 people. Is like, we can kind of we'll figure it out when we get there. You know, 12 spots. Mathematically we have a better chance of not making the playoffs than making it. You know what I mean? It's like it's harder to not.
But the top four. Remember, the top four go automatic.
Yes.
And then the rest have like a repechaje.
Yeah.
So I think that does give the top four a bit of an edge, which I mean it's well deserved. So I do think what you're saying is true, but I think that's gonna apply for the pretty much from like number 12 to I'll say to about number 8.
Well, kind of just to give you an idea, right? So 12 spots, which right now would be Santos with 9 points. But Atlético San Luis, which is dead last, has 5 points. I mean, they could win they could win 2 games and all of a sudden they're in the playoffs, bro. Like that's how bad this is, man. Like you could literally be sucking eggs for 3/4 of the league, and then you win 2 games in a row and you're in Liguilla, man. That's just how it works in Mexico.
Man. That's always been my criticism of the short season format, and I've never been a fan of playoffs. Not for a league. I like playoffs in a tournament, so more like in a cup.
Yeah.
You know, be it Copa Mexico or
like Libertadores and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but for a league where teams play each other, I've never been much of a fan of having Liguilla. I would prefer it if there was no Liguilla, and if it was just, you know, whoever made the most points. Even if you still wanted to have 2 champions a year, I would still prefer it like that, just because I think that would make every game that much more important.
Yeah. Yeah, because think about it. You got this team that tried super hard. They were consistent the entire league. Like Cruz Azul, for example. They're always a good student. They always turn in their homework on time. They're always participating in class. You know, they're that student that you just want to beat up because they're so annoying. And then you got some slacker that, you know, makes fun of the teacher, cuts class all the time, and then you go into, and then somehow they end up passing the class, and then now you're in the playoffs, and this Cruz Azul team that was like on point, they got to play against this fucking slacker, and then the slacker gets the best out of them, and then they get eliminated. It's like, what the? How did that happen?
Yeah,
How did that
yeah,
happen?
yeah. And it's like you could have one bad game and that will cost you the elimination. So
Yeah.
one bad game, someone made a mistake, there was a slip up. Even the even the ref can make a mistake. He could have given a red or he could have
Yeah.
not called a foul that would lead to a goal. Just little things like that, and in one match. And I know there's a lot of people that like that because it becomes very unpredictable. But I've always preferred long season just because I think it in the long run it rewards more consistency, and it allows for
Mm-hmm.
more things, even like getting young players in there, because
Yeah.
it becomes easier.
Yeah. You got it. You automatically just doubled the amount of opportunities for a young kid. Because you can
Yeah, then
start to
maybe it won't be the
experiment.
big teams.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't be the big teams, but like a lot of the mid-table, lower teams, once they know at least that they're safe. I mean, maybe we're not getting relegated or whatever. They'll still, they'll be like, all right, let's give this dude a chance.
Yeah. Exactly. So it looks like, yeah. So Juarez and Santos finished 1-1. So that is all for today. And then tomorrow, Pumas Puebla. I'm actually curious to see how long Pumas can remain undefeated. They got a good test tomorrow against Puebla. Atlas play Cruz Azul, and Tigres play Chivas. So
Yeah,
I think for the
because
first time, hmm?
Cruz Azul wins, they take the number one spot.
Wow,
They reclaim it because they're just a point behind León
wow.
and
Even with a
Ames and
even with a draw, they
what
would
happened.
actually be above Leon because they have a 9 goal differential, which is,
Oh, okay, so
yeah.
they just need a point. And then Ames in third. It's funny how it was trending for a little bit for Piojo, but this dude has him in third place, man. And some people wanted Turco, man. Turco's having
Again?
such a tough time. Well, they just a lot of people liked like when he won with them, and then they just thought that he was the ideal coach.
Mm,
But he's been, he's
yeah.
been kind of inconsistent. Uh, let's see. And then Pachuca is in fourth, and they've been pretty good. Um, and then as you said, there's
Yeah,
Pumas
Pumas
in
could.
fifth, and they're gonna be playing Puebla. I think that could be a pretty interesting game.
I think the interesting part about that game is the fact that it's taking place at 3 p.m. Um, on a Saturday. I can't ever remember Pumas being at home and playing on a Saturday. They always play at 10 a.m. on Sundays. So there's no team playing on Sunday this weekend, which I think is pretty interesting. So, um, yeah, it looks like keep tuned for tomorrow. Those 3 games. I think you have a pretty good lineup. You got the team that's undefeated, still going for something. Then you got Cruz Azul, which should have a pretty easy day against Atlas, but then who knows? Atlas, they beat Querétaro after Querétaro beat America 4-1, so you just don't know what's going to happen there. And then, of course, Tigres Chivas, they have a little bit of animosity towards each other because we got the best out of Tigres in the final. Um, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, is there anything else you had on your mind, Joel, before we wrap up the show for tonight?
Uh, no, no, I think we said it all, and I think it's the interesting thing that even for the last place teams, they still have a chance to go to
That's
playoffs.
what I'm saying.
And we're up the both two last teams, so I don't know. I'm a reserve judgment because I think even if you're fans of certain teams like like Mazatlan or Juarez that wouldn't have much of a chance. But then under this format, they might. So I think that could make it fun. But I'm a wait and see how it plays out.
We'll see what happens. Everybody, stay tuned for us on Twitter. For the commenters today on tonight's show. Thank you to Luis. Thank you to Randy. I don't know how you could support Atlas, but God bless you for for staying fiel to the team that is always the laughing stock of Liga MX. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great night. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. We will be back next week after this doble jornada ends. And for everybody out there, stay safe.